Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Trey back with another video here. Here I'm reacting to a channel called It's Complicated. I'm pretty sure some of y'all heard about it. He's a street interviewer in the streets of Las Vegas, and he goes and interviews random people about dating, relationships, marriage, and men's problems. And he be asking some great damn questions on top of that. Great damn questions. So you want to go check him out. I'm reacting to one of his videos called It Is What It Is. So I will put the link in the description. Below, so y'all go check it out. I'm only reacting to the first 4 minutes of the video, around the first 4 minutes, around that number. But anyway, before we get to it, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave a comment, tell me what you think, and share it with anybody who like videos like these. So without further ado, let's get to this video. We'll go ahead and start it here.
What makes a man weak?
What weakens a man is no sense of direction, no sense of actual goal, no sense of purpose. That weakens every man.
Before I get to a question, if you didn't heard the question, what makes a man weak? You heard his answer. I think also to throw on top of that, a man that's very emotional. Cause a man that's led by his emotions is a very dangerous man. Usually, a man with no emotions and not thinking logically don't really have a direction in life. He just going off emotions, do whatever he want. Most likely that man's usually, I would say, some kind of, I don't want to say criminal, but yeah, one of those Pookies and Ray Rays in the street. But anyway.
What makes a man weak? I feel like if you let a lady or a younger lady run over you, that makes you weak. But if you like leading and stuff like that, your place should be good.
Are men more weak because they simp for women or because they don't fight for their rights?
We love a good simp, but ain't no wrong with no simp. If you want to be a simp, that's cool. And if you want,
That's a lie. Y'all know good well y'all run over simps. Y'all sure take his money, but y'all sure run all over him.
gotta fight for your rights, that's cool too. But you gotta simp your girl.
Are men more weak because they simp for women or because they don't fight for their rights?
A little bit of both, but I think more simp for women because men become yes men around women, and that's the problem.
I don't think all men become yes men for women. Most men, if they grounded and have boundaries, they won't be afraid to say no. Simps would be the ones to say yes more than 90% of the time. A grounded, strong man would not say yes all the time. It'd probably like 50-50 or 60-40, something like that. But anyway.
How can you change women's sense of entitlement without first changing men's sense of obligation?
Oh, that's a tough question.
That is a good question.
Nah, maybe equality would help, being both equal, but I have a conservative, the guy's the head of the house, but the female is very important. Equal, but when it comes to some decisions, I think the guy should make it and not be afraid to make it. Be the leadership role, patriarchy.
I think that was a good answer, but you probably could have took the patriarchy part out of it. But then again, some people's going to call it that anyway. But yeah.
Does a strong man take abuse or does a weak man take abuse?
That's both.
I would say a weak man takes abuse. I would say a strong man might handle abuse, but they don't take it. They might accept it, but they will deal with it. Whereas your framing of accepting it alludes to me that they're not going to make any steps towards correction. And so if you're not making any steps toward correction, that's weakness. Not having any boundaries of your own is weakness. So
Okay, I know he was about to ask a question, but yeah, that's what I was looking for, hoping he was going to say strong man will normally have boundaries, a weak man won't, because that man, if he has boundaries, he's not going to step over those boundaries. He's going to stick by them. But a weak man is very flimsy, and he'd be bending all kinds of different directions basically. So yeah.
Why are we told that real men are made from suffering?
From suffering? Well, suffering will give you character, Suffering isn't a bad thing.
So at what point does masculinity...
I'm probably going to go back to that question in a second. The suffering part. Now, yes, suffering does build character, but thing is, it helps to have somebody to help guide you along the way, so the suffering you won't succumb to the suffering and end up becoming one of these Pookies, Ray Rays, criminals out on the street, whatever. Because suffering can build character, but if you got somebody that can help you, guide you out of that, doesn't matter who it is, it could definitely benefit you in the long run. Like I said, as long as you got somebody to guide you. Y'all tell me anything different in the comments, please.
You know, suffering isn't a bad thing.
So
I
at
know I
what
would
point does
want it.
masculinity turn into masochism?
Good question. Wow.
That is a good question.
That's a tough one to answer.
That is a good question.
Oh. If you're defending someone that is, you know, in a vulnerable position, I don't think you're a masochist. But if you want to beat people up all the time, then you might be crossing that border. I'll say it like that.
That's more of a history issue, because there's this paradigm within history that like soft times make hard men and hard men make soft times.
Soft times don't make hard men. Soft times actually make more soft men. It's the hard times, like warring times, that actually create the peaceful soft times. But soft times just create more soft men. So that's a little backwards there. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments.
I'm oversimplifying, but you would understand what I'm saying. So I'm not sure that concept is nuanced as reality, but I understand where it's coming from.
At what point does masculinity turn into masochism?
When
That'd
it gets
be me.
weak and it allows abuse.
How can men's issues ever be heard if we're told that real men don't complain?
I think the aspect of real men don't complain is, again, an unnuanced issue of dealing with what's the antiquated views of masculinity. And I think that standing up for yourself is actually more in line with true masculinity.
Oh no. It just these questions have me think. Sorry to pause it.
How can men's issues ever be heard if we're told that real men don't complain?
That's true. Because when you open your mouth, women have a problem, people have a problem, so gotta kind of tough it out.
Why is it that men will reluctantly accept their fate anytime an injustice is pointed out? That's just the way it is, or it's just part of being a man?
I mean, we're programmed to think that that's how a man's supposed to be, but it's not. But it's just the way it is.
So then why do people say that it's biology?
It's not biology. It's more like a psychology thing. You know, it's more psychological than anything.
Yeah. Say real people got a problem with women complaining. Yeah, that's how they probably perceive it nowadays. But you got channels like these are like, we're just trying to show the issue. Like, we're not really trying to complain. Thing is, we're just trying to expose the hypocrisy of everything, the double standards, the mistreatment of how men are. So he asked some good questions. I know I didn't focus on that last question he just asked, but I did. It was like I said, 3 of those questions I wanted to focus on, and I said my 2 piece on it. So y'all tell me in the comments, you think my answers might have been adequate for some of these? Because one of those questions I was kind of stumped on. It probably took me a second to respond. I still didn't even responded. I want to respond to one. I forgot which one it was. But anyway, y'all tell me in the comments about this. Like I said, I'll post the links in the description below of this video, the whole video, if you want to go watch it. Like I said, it's complicated. Great channel, great guy, answer some great questions. He got a deep bag of questions. I just tell you that he got a deep bag of questions. But anyway, that's it for this. I just wanted to react to that segment of that video. If you made it this far, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave a comment, tell what you think, and share this with anybody who like videos like these. And of course, hit that notification bell for all future uploads from me. So without further ado, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Y'all have a good one, and peace.
Yeah.